Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. Welcome back to my $1 billion GTA Online garage tour. Today, we join my second character at his 50-car garage on Eclipse Boulevard to take a look at 14 muscle cars and emergency vehicles from Bravado and Schyster worth nearly $29 million. We have a lot of cars today, so let's get started.
LS County 265 in pursuit of Red Bay. Northbound on Sonora Freeway, high rate of speed. 265, additional units requested.
We kick things off today with one of my favorite emergency vehicles, the Gauntlet Interceptor. It isn't the fastest, that honor goes to the Western Police Bike, and it isn't even the nicest to drive, though it does drive nicely.
732, joining pursuit.
It does, however, look absolutely incredible as an emergency vehicle. We do know that this car will appear again in GTA 6 thanks to it being spotted in the first trailer for that game, and it looked absolutely incredible there as well.
LS County 351 joining pursuit, speed in excess of 120 miles per hour.
Suspect TC, dispatch medical. Suspect continuing northbound.
It isn't just a looker, however, as it weighs a fair bit more than the civilian Gauntlet Hellfire it is based on, which means it can easily ram most other vehicles out of its way.
691 joining pursuit. .691 taking lead. 691 attempted pit. 691 pit failed. 691 pit successful. Suspect TC, roll fire and medical.
And since it is technically not a muscle car, you won't be slowed down by accidental wheelies. It is an all-around great police vehicle, and if it is good enough for Officer Vincent Effenberger, it's good enough for me. The Buffalo EVX silently enters our showcase today as the only electric muscle car in GTA Online. It is one of only a handful of all-wheel drive muscle cars as well, so it definitely sits in a unique position in the class. In its stock form, it's a decent car that handles well and moves along at a respectable pace. If you shell out almost $1.5 million for the HSW upgrade, it jumps up to only half a second slower around a lap than the top muscle car and gains an enormous increase in top speed. But for nearly $4 million by the time you're done upgrading it, the case for the Buffalo EVX starts to fall apart. It isn't exactly a good looking car, and it makes a stupid fake engine noise when you first start it up, and I really don't see a lot of them in the game. Oh well, at least it can get some beefy Amanitech armor so it can withstand nearly a dozen explosive projectiles. This is one of two Buffalo STXs that I own. This one is located in my so-called race car garage of my first character and is all decked out as a stock car inspired racer to complement my old school Sprunk Buffalo S. My second character owns this one, a decidedly tamer street car design. The STX saw the Buffalo jump from the sports class, which was a stupid classification, into the muscle class where it belongs. While it cannot come close to matching the top speed of the HSW muscle cars at the top of the class, its incredible grip in the corners means it's only barely a second slower than the overall top muscle car. That is kind of impressive, especially considering my 73-year-old mom drives the real world car this thing is based on. Moving further down the alphabet brings us to the Schyster Deviant. And why is a Schyster being featured in a tour of models from Bravado? Easy. Schyster is the in-game equivalent of Chrysler. Chrysler, in turn, was the parent company of Dodge before all of the weird merger nonsense started taking place in the late 90s. And Dodge is, of course, the real-world equivalent of Bravado. And thus we have the stunningly beautiful Schyster Deviant sitting in the middle of a lineup from Bravado. While I personally find a lot of resto mods to be fairly uninspiring, the work of the Ring brothers is always amazing. And the Deviant is pretty clearly heavily influenced by the design of their real-world car, Defiant. Like that real-world car, I think the Deviant is incredible. From the rumble of the V8 engine at idle, to the big supercharger sticking out of its hood, to the overall beautiful lines of the car, I think this one is a true masterpiece. I don't care that it isn't the quickest around the track or that it has a low top speed. Those things simply do not matter when a car comes together as well as this one does. I have always appreciated that GTA Online contains what has come to be called NPC modified cars. These can include both gang-affiliated cars as well as those not affiliated with any criminal element. This Gauntlet is from the latter group. It has no gang affiliation, but it is still one of the so-called rare NPC modified cars. When you find it, many of its elements can be recreated in Los Santos Customs. The wheel color, a unique worn red, cannot be obtained through any legitimate method, however. Sadly, the PC version of the game still seems to be bugged and does not save the wheel color when it's stored in the garage. That's why I drove around for 30 minutes to get one to spawn, so you could see it with the red wheels in the background. Beyond the wheel color, it also spawns with the sports suspension already applied along with a light window tint. Other than that, it's a stock Gauntlet that you can steal and store in your garage. And since the Gauntlet is still a pretty incredible car even after all these years, you should definitely find one and add it to your collection. Stepping back in time a bit, we come to the Gauntlet Classic. Some of you may recognize this car as one of the possible getaway vehicles for the Diamond Casino heist if you chose Eddie Tow to source your cars. And you may have gone on to buy one for a discounted trade price after that heist, since using it in that role is the only way to unlock that discount. Regardless of how you obtain one, the Gauntlet Classic is yet another great-looking vintage muscle car from Bravado. It sports a wide range of customization options that allows you to style it after numerous real-world cars or even take cues from other in-game vehicles. And if you're wondering about the unique color on my own Gauntlet Classic, I have that courtesy of one of the pillars of the Vainglorious gaming community, Sparing Donkey 30. Among his many passions is pursuing the unique and appealing custom crew colors for his vehicle collection, and you will see many of those on display via his cars that appear in the background of many of the scenes from all of my garage tour videos. If you ever get bored with your Gauntlet Classic, or if you have an extra one sitting around, you can always take it to Benny's. Shelling out an additional $815,000 will turn the car into the Gauntlet Classic Custom. That custom variant is largely identical to the donor car from the hood back, but the nose of the car takes on design cues from different Chrysler and Dodge vehicles from roughly the same era. The long list of customization options available allow you to modify it to deviate even further from the original car. That upgrade also nets a hefty boost to the car's top speed, bumping up over 15 miles an hour faster, and its lap time drops by a full second. Granted, it can be just as much of a handful of times as the original, thanks to both of them not being the greatest in terms of grip in a corner. But hey, it's an American muscle car made for going fast in a straight line. It doesn't need any of those communist, socialist, Nazi corners. Like, have you driven through Kansas? What's a corner? Before we move on to the other vehicles, I want to remind you that this video is just one of many in what will become a pretty long billion-dollar GTA Online Garage Tour series. If you want to learn a bit more about this series, then be sure to check out the first video in the playlist. I own almost 600 vehicles in GTA Online, and that collection is worth nearly $1 billion. I am going to feature every last one of them, so if you are a fan of collecting vehicles in GTA Online, then be sure to get subscribed so you don't miss out. And if you enjoy this video, please remember to hit the like button and drop a comment letting me know which car is your favorite. Or maybe just leave an emoji that sums up how you feel about Bravado as a car manufacturer in GTA Online. Also, if you would like to have your own cars featured in the background, join the Vainglorious Discord to find out how you can take part. Now, let's get back to the cars. This here is my Gauntlet Hellfire. Sure, the $1,700 a month payment is more than the worth of my mobile home situated in a trail park on top of a toxic industrial waste site. That's okay. It's also okay that little Jimbo was born with 13 toes and 7 fingers. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know why? Because we buy American. We're born in America. We live in America. We'll die of diabetes at 42 years old in America. But I'll be damned if we're gonna drive some electric socialist car. Or some kind of import. No siree. We have the Gauntlet Hellfire. All 6 kids fit in the back seat as long as none of them wear their seatbelt. And when Mary Beth needs to be rushed to the doctor in Sandy Shores because she's gonna pop out our 7th baby, shit, son, we'll be there lickety split. That car payment might mean we can't afford running water or electricity or clothes for the kids, but I'll be damned if I drive anything other than Merc and Muscle. As we take a look at the Redwood Gauntlet, it may start to feel like Bravado doesn't make anything but gauntlets. Given that there are 8 different cars or variations in GTA Online to carry the Gauntlet name, it'd be easy to think that. But this is the final gauntlet that we need to cover. For now at least. This one was part of a nice little group of cars that arrived way back in 2014 as part of the enhanced edition of the game that was available for the then new generations of console and PC. At only $230,000, this car feels like you're practically stealing it. But it gets better because anyone who pre-ordered that so-called enhanced version of the game back in the day, or those who transferred their account from an older generation to a newer one, can get the car for free. It has a slightly higher top speed than the stock Gauntlet that we looked at earlier, and it can get to that top speed a bit faster thanks to a bit more engine power and quicker upshifts. But you better like the stock car livery because it cannot be removed. In fact, aside from paint color and wheels, there are not any visual modifications available for this car. If the Redwood Gauntlet is a steal, then the Bravado Greenwood is quite the opposite. This thing will set you back nearly 1.5 million bucks, though you can unlock a trade price that knocks nearly 400 grand off of that. Despite looking like a massive boat out of the late 70s, the Greenwood actually has a fairly respectable lap time and top speed, though it still lands in the same race tier as the Gauntlet Hellfire. For reasons I will never fully understand, this car can also be equipped with armor plating, slick mines, and even a missile lock-on jammer. It is all of the other regular modifications I'm interested in, however, and there are a lot of them. Those visual mods provide a huge variety of design options, so much so that I recently did not realize that a friend was driving his Greenwood at the same time I was. They looked that different. The Bravado Rat-Loader is yet another vehicle that can spawn in the lobby as one of the rare NPC modified vehicles. It can actually spawn in 2 variants. Mine is the Race Yellow, which appears with a dew yellow pearlescent that is unique because the Rat-Loader typically does not have pearlescent paint options. It also comes equipped with a race suspension, chromed V8 engine, chopped truck bed, Stinger exhaust, removed fenders, grille with fixed bars, and the triple scoop blower. It also has a unique pure white color applied to the old school muscle wheels when you find it, but it does not stay applied once you store it in the garage. The other variant is bright green with a unique red pearlescent, chromed V8 engine, straight exit exhaust, vintage grille, single scoop blower on the hood, full truck bed with wheel arches, competition suspension, and revolver muscle wheels in a unique pearl white color. Regardless of which variant you find, you'll have a very slow old truck that has a persistent engine rattle with an appearance that looks well worn. There are a surprising number of customization options on this old truck, however, so you definitely have choices if you get tired of looking at it the way you found it. You can also take it to your arena workshop and shell out $1.5 million to turn it into the Sasquatch, a vehicle that we will be looking at in part 3 of the Bravado portion of my $1 billion garage tour. The Rat-Truck is essentially a restored or well cared for Rat-Loader, as it shares the same chassis, front end, and cabin design. The Rat-Truck also sports a decent amount of customization options and, like the Rat-Loader, can be converted into the Sasquatch monster truck in your arena workshop. The real difference between this and the Rat-Loader is performance, though it isn't a huge difference. The Rat-Truck is not a speed demon, but its top speed is 3 miles per hour faster than the Rat-Loader, and it can get around a lap about a second quicker. It would probably get a slightly better lap time if it weren't for the fact that it has terrible brakes. The brakes do an incredible job of replicating drum brakes, as standing on the brake pedal will definitely slow the truck down, but will take a while to bring it to a full stop. I personally don't drive mine all that often, but I love the looks of old pickups, so it will always be in my collection. And for just over $37,000, you can easily add one to your collection as well. You can even unlock a cheaper trade price for it by increasing your sponsorship tier in Arena War. We wrap things up with another emergency vehicle from Bravado, the Greenwood Cruiser. Like all emergency vehicles that we can purchase, this thing is incredibly overpriced at nearly $5 million, and that's before you start buying expensive add-ons. Worse, like all other emergency vehicles, if you want to get rid of it, you will not get any of your money back if you sell it. I suppose it's a good thing that this is one of the few emergency vehicles that has some more unique police equipment and liveries on offer, all of which serve the vintage police car vibe quite well. It does have a slightly better top speed than the civilian variant of the Greenwood, but its lack of a spoiler means it also has worse grip when you're going around a corner. But meh, that's no bother when your most pressing crime is responding to a report that someone burned the donuts at your favorite donut shop. And that wraps it up for the first part of Bravado and Schyster in my $1 billion garage tour. Next time, we will be right back here at my 50-car garage on Eclipse Boulevard with my second character to take a look at 8 sports cars and a supercar from Bravado and Schyster. Don't forget, if you enjoyed today's tour of Bravado and Schyster muscle cars, be sure to hit the like button and leave a comment letting me know which one was your favorite, or which one you hate. And if you want to see all of the nearly 600 vehicles I own, get subscribed with notifications so you don't miss a single video. Until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.